and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals. Ladies and gentlemen, our restroom is now open to use for whenever nature calls. Ladies and gentlemen, for your comfort, we've increased the hotel capacity of the park. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome Amaya to the park.
If there's one thing that the history of evolution has taught us, it's that life will not be contained.
Welcome, welcome. I am, of course, Cabot Finch, managing director of this new enterprise and the owner of this lovely patch of Badlands. Go on, take a look around. Breathe in the, fresh air.
Decidedly less fresh around the herbivore enclosure. Hey, tell me, what are you calling this again? Is it done? Dim?
DIN, the Dinosaur Integration Network. I am Kira Chang. A pleasure to meet you. We intend to help dinosaurs and humans coexist globally, and I am here to find clients who share that goal.
Hey, so I should, ignore the roaming velociraptors that I saw on the way in and just focus on the bare bones enclosure? Wow, you're spoiling me.
Please, Doctor, take a look at the site map.
Oh yes, plenty of time, sure. Until, of course, we don't.
All right, let's get this showcase underway. To kick things off, some rescues will be arriving here any time now. Let's use a delivery zone to transport them all in one trip. It saves time and, even better, a boatload of chopper fuel. Okay, perfect. When the chopper gets here, direct them to that delivery zone. Excellent! The Loki Ceratops are on their way. And the pilot said there's something special about the group, so, consider my interest piqued.
Ah, our other important guest has arrived. Dr. Dua, welcome to Montana.
And thank you for inviting me. Your goal to help dinosaurs thrive has certainly caught the conservation sector's attention. I truly hope you can succeed.
Ha! So do I. So do I.
A wild juvenile dinosaur. Absolutely remarkable. And not a common sight these days. You know, the mind boggles thinking about how its experiences now will shape it. Will its future be peaceful? Chaotic? The deciding factor, I suspect, is you.
What a beautiful young dinosaur. Can we perhaps observe it more closely?
Dinosaur appeal is one of the things that'll draw new guests to a site. And boy, oh boy, do juveniles sell entry tickets.
And well-cared-for juveniles will grow into more appealing adults as well. As dinosaurs explore their new enclosure, they'll form a territory. It's inside this territory that their environment must meet their needs.
Some dinosaurs play well with others. Some less so. Keep an eye on who's sharing an enclosure with who.
I must say, that enclosure is a far cry from the environment these animals evolved for.
All part of the demonstration, I assure you. We have a suite of environmental tools to help make this enclosure more appropriate, which is, of course, our next priority.
Wonderful work. Actions like this will certainly earn you a good reputation with the conservation sector.
Not to alarm you all, but is that
A sandstorm, and it came out of nowhere.
typical? It ripped apart some of our fences, too.
Storms like this can harm or panic dinosaurs. This is a delicate situation.
Right. A spooked giant is a big threat to our guests. The priority needs to be tranquilizing it with the capture team chopper. We can repair the enclosure later.
Moving accordingly. Other shots unnecessary. Remain vigilant. Assuming control.
Hey, nice shooting. Those dinosaurs won't be waking up anytime soon, so you've earned us some breathing space. Now, I'm not exactly adept with a hammer, so let's bring in the experts. We need a maintenance facility, and like yesterday.
Every facility place will need to be connected to our path network.
Now get out there and repair everything you can. You know, Dr. Dua, Dr. Malcolm, your, testimonials would really make a difference. We need the support of the conservation sector if anyone will take us seriously. And if they don't, Din is going down. And taking what's left of my money and self-respect with it.
John Hammond said something similar when he brought me and the others to Jurassic Park. You know, I could dig out the report that I made for him, but I'd need to update some details, like oohs and ahs and running and screaming, you know, that sort of thing.
I'm not sure that now is the time for that conversation, Mr. Finch. Let's focus on the task at hand for the moment. A thorough and efficient batch of repairs. Impressive work.
Now that the enclosure is fixed up, we're safe to transport the dinosaurs back into it. When transporting a dinosaur, first choose the animal you want to move and then pick where to send it. That storm could have torn the park apart, or hurt the dinosaurs. We got lucky, but luck tends to run out eventually.
No need to worry. I suggested we prepare for such a thing weeks ago. And we did prepare, didn't we, Mr. Finch?
Well, you know, the to-do list was pretty long. And how was I to know we'd be hit by a... Look, let's not point fingers, especially at me. Bit of a long shot, but, Dr. Malcolm, any chance you can ignore the whole breakout thing?
Oh boy, now you're asking an awful lot of me.
Okay, maybe not ignore, but focus on how well we dealt with it? No? Well, can't blame a guy for trying, huh?
Asset has been delivered.
Let's place down some maintenance posts across the site. They'll let your maintenance ATVs patrol and fix the place up automatically. You want your maintenance posts to cover all buildings and power generators that might need repairing, refueling, or resupplying. Those posts also have a wider range to them, and any fences that break in that range will automatically get repaired. Once you've placed your maintenance posts, you can directly assign a maintenance team to each one.
I've arranged for more dinosaurs to arrive on site. They were struggling in the nearby desert, but we can give them a better life here.
One moment. Corythosaurus. They cohabitate wonderfully with Lokiceratops, so please do place them in the same enclosure. Replicating natural varied ecosystems should always be a high priority.
All right, then. You're the boss. Until you say you're supporting us, at least. Then I'm back in charge. I'm kidding. Mostly. This place is shaping up faster than I expected. The benefit of hiring the right park manager, eh? I mean, just take a step back and look at what you've done already. This site is our very own window into prehistoric Montana. Diplodocus? Check. Lokiceratops? Check. Corythosaurus? Well, here we go.
We are pleased to welcome
Delivery successful. Now, we better make sure those dinosaurs are loving their new home. I mean, I'm sure they are, but I pride myself on being a good host. Or at least a passable one.
They could certainly be more comfortable here. Balancing comfort between multiple species can be a challenge, but one worth overcoming.
Filling up the generator.
Is it just me, or do those dinosaurs not look as happy as the Lokiceratops?
Like many species, they need males in their herd to truly thrive. Male dinosaurs are rather rare, though, so there's little we can do. Perhaps Din isn't a good fit for the conservation sector. Your work is inspiring, but the dinosaurs need something extraordinary if they're to get a foothold in the wild.
You know, the dinosaurs aren't adapting fast enough to reproduce on their own. The course of natural history is trying to reassert itself, and you simply cannot fight nature.
But we could work with it. I know of a research station developing not only male dinosaur synthesis, but sustainable breeding programs too. If it will earn your support, I suggest that we all head there immediately.
Just to check, we're, coming back here, right?
Oh, we must. If that research succeeds, we have to return to reintroduce male dinosaurs to these herds.
All right, my bags are packed, so let's go.
Everyone, the velociraptors. What are they doing?
The inevitable, their biological imperative, you know, they're hunting.
High alert, people. Finch, it's time to prove that Din cares about security.
Right, well, the guests and me need somewhere to hide. Build an emergency shelter. A fine-looking hidey hole there. Now open up the shelter to put out the alert. Raptors can be a tricky target on the best of days, so I suggest letting the pros do their thing. Give the capture team the task to tranquilize those dinosaurs and put a stop to the rampage. Right. Those dinosaurs won't be waking up anytime soon, but we better have an enclosure ready for when they do. We do have a half-built enclosure on site that'll probably do the job, if you can, you know, finish it up.
Good work. Now wait for the delivery to end and confirm they're all enclosed.
It's strange, isn't it? Alan and Ellie had a dig site near here in this scenic patch of Montana's Badlands. You know, they were digging for fossilized dinosaurs, and now you're containing living, breathing, thinking dinosaurs a mere stone's throw away. Wow, it's really, you know, it's poetic in a vague sort of sense. and deeply terrifying in a more specific sort of sense.
We should power those fences with a generator. If an animal tries to escape, it could hurt itself or even your guests. A light shock, however, will act as a gentle deterrent.
Yeah, listen, you can call me paranoid or, more accurately, justifiably nervous, but I'm telling you, those generators tend to run out of juice at the very worst of times.
Don't we all? But no, I don't want dinosaurs getting out either. Worth making sure that the generators are in range of a maintenance post so our maintenance team can keep an eye on them. When the enclosure is ready, give the order to transport those sleeping meat eaters into it. I'll leave it in your capable hands, okay? Take as long as you need, but not too long. Even sleeping carnivores make me nervous. Make sure to close any shelters once you've dealt with the threat. After all, guests aren't likely to spend money while they're busy hunkering down. Although a bunker gift shop isn't a bad idea. Huh. Nice job dealing with those raptors. Vicious and intelligent carnivores don't tend to mix well with guests.
Vicious and intelligent they may be, but those velociraptors deserve as much support as any other dinosaur. A feeder that gives them an outlet for their hunting instinct would be particularly beneficial.
Better the goats than us, is what you mean to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing area, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
Now that they're enclosed, those raptors will actually be boosting the site's appeal. And more appeal means more guests, so it's good news in my book. Guests will actually need to be able to see the raptors to be impressed by them, but that's why we build viewing galleries, right? Huh? Dinosaur appeal is great, but dinosaur visibility is what will actually sell tickets. Improving visibility with attractions like the viewing gallery is an important step if we actually want to make a profit here. And you do want to make a profit, right?
I'd rather like to revisit our Corythosaurus. They needed males in the herd to thrive, and thanks to Dr. Baldera, that's exactly what we can. We will need an expedition center to organize gathering the appropriate genetic material. Then, once we have processed the fossils in the science center, we can synthesize the males in a hatchery.
A research assignment has been successfully completed. Today.
We are so close to providing those animals with what they need. Keep up your excellent work.
Personnel, please stand by. Commencing synthesis procedure. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Corythosaurus.
You did it. They're happy. They're thriving. And it's all thanks to your hard work. Well done. With males in the herd, we are only a well-placed nest away from helping these animals start a new lineage. It's not an objective that I will set, but I will always support breeding dinosaurs wherever possible.
We've done a fantastic job taking care of the dinosaurs so far, and that's great. Really great. But maybe it's time we take as much care of our bottom line, eh? You see, our guests need caring for just as much as our animals. They need hotels to sleep in, restrooms to answer nature's call. A comfortable site draws in more guests, and I'm very much a people person. I'm especially a people with spending money person.
open to use for whenever nature calls. Ladies and gentlemen, for your comfort, we've
Looking good so far. FYI, we've got number crunchers behind the scenes collecting info on the site's appeal, how guests are feeling, and my favorite bit, our amenity sales. Take a look. Ooh, those amenity sales could be a lot less red. How sites like this one make money is pretty straightforward. See, if we have incredible animals on site and the guests can see them, then we'll sell plenty of entry tickets. And as long as we keep our guests comfortable and make sure they approve of what we're doing, we'll sell even more entry tickets. That's when we hit them with some excellent food, drinks, and shopping amenities to really bump up our income. As we seem to be lacking in the amenities department right now, we should really get that fixed. You know, I created DIN to support dinosaurs and bring people joy. And there's nothing more joyful than good food, good drinks, and reasonably priced merchandise. Think of the site's profits as a measurement of joy. Building amenities near popular attractions will make profits go up, and needless to say, that's the direction that profits should be going in. You can kit out amenities however you like, but you're not shooting in the dark. Our data geniuses will show you in real time how different products or features will impact guest satisfaction, and how that equals more profit. You're not going to believe what I found. Well, okay, my lawyers pointed it out to me, but same thing. We have more land than I thought. I trust it'll be put to good use. Wink, wink. More dinosaurs and more revenue. Wink, wink.
While this particular site is owned by Mr. Finch, I thought it best to still define some specific targets to work towards. Remember, satisfying these goals will define this site's overall park rating. Our park ratings prove that we can manage sites and make clients happy, which helps me expand DIN globally.
I cannot believe the momentum that DIN has suddenly gained. Kira, you've been talking to potential clients, right? Any, good news?
I'm close to securing a new site now. Follow my advice on increasing our reputation and park ratings, and our proposition will be irresistible.
The conservation sector have asked me to keep an eye on DIN long term, so consider me an official advisor. And on that topic, your reputation with the conservation sector would only improve if we had more naturally bred dinosaurs on site.
Please respond. synthesis procedure complete. Synthesis procedure.
En route to collect the asset.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome
Reporting asset. Asset transportation underway. Transportation complete. Delivery complete.
Commence procedure.
To be collected. Transportation underway. Asset transportation in progress. Asset has been transported. Asset delivery confirmed.
Sora to the park.
Asset being transported. Commencing asset. Asset has been delivered. Heading to pick up the asset. Heading to collect the asset.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome Elias to the park.
Asset has been collected. Picking up asset. Asset transportation underway. Asset transportation complete. Delivery complete.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are
Asset has been transported. Transportation underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
Picking up asset. Heading to collect the asset.
Be there soon. Bring it up. We'll get on it. Not a problem.
Asset transportation.
gentlemen, our restroom is now open to use for whenever nature calls.
Task received.
Carol will be back soon. Generator will be running soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your comfort, we've increased the hotel capacity of the park. Ladies and gentlemen, our restroom is now open to use for whenever nature calls. Ladies and gentlemen, for your comfort,
generator just needs some fuel.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be advised that our weather forecasts predict an incoming sandstorm. Ladies and gentlemen. Cast. We apologize for any inconvenience experienced during our recent handling of anomalous events. Ladies and gentlemen, the sandstorm has now passed. Please resume your normal activity. ladies and gentlemen. We have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
During most of your tour, the approach...
En route to collect the asset.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Parasaurolophus to the park.
Asset being transported. Power will be back soon. Asset transportation underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Parasaurolophus to the park.
Asset has been collected. Asset delivered. Topping up generator.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to...
Filling up a generator. Filling up a generator.
I have some rather incredible news. Dr. Baldera will be joining Din full-time, and with his breeding expertise and our brilliant park management skills, the sector representatives have offered their support as well. There is just one uncharacteristically quiet voice left. Dr. Malcolm?
I'm sure this is going to shock you, but I'm still skeptical. I mean, what you've done here is impressive, but, haven't we walked this path of good intentions before? At the same time, I'm nothing if not wildly curious, and if there's one thing that ambitious projects need, it's a voice of reason. So, here I am.
Well, sounds like everyone's pretty much on board. Din has hope, and I won't have to sleep in my nephew's basement. Fantastic! All right, don't keep me waiting. Where are we heading next?
Las Vegas. In Spanish, the Meadows. Huh. It brings to mind peaceful, rolling pastures and verdant land. But what we get are greedy opportunists rolling the dice on displaying prehistoric animals in sorely lacking enclosures. But then, aren't you also taking a gamble? Will you be able to get this site not just functional, but ethical? Roll up, place your bets, and good luck. You know, if you believe in that sort of thing.
When you said we were going to Vegas, I was expecting glitz, glamour, and maybe a night on the town, huh? But, that'll teach me for being optimistic. What was this place again?
I believe that the original owner called it a prehistoric playland, or some such. The new owner, our client, wants us to take better care of these animals.
And I bet they're expecting some impressive profits given the Vegas-adjacent real estate. Oh, I have a good feeling about this.
To help out, I brought in a freelance crisis manager. She was a big name at Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, until they went under. Catastrophically. But I'm sure that had nothing to do with you, Lily. Nothing at all, hmm?
Thank you, Cabot. And hello, everyone. Now, our most pressing task is to get these animals recontained, which means repairing that aviary. Unless we want those high flyers to escape to the bright lights of the city, of course. And I should say, it's especially good to see you again, Kira.
You two know each other, huh?
Lily was a mentor for me. She gave me my first opportunities in paleocuration.
And you walked away from those opportunities with a copy of my contacts database in your pocket. She was a cunning young raptor even then.
Yes, well, I learned from the best. But, let's just focus on recontaining the escaped flying reptiles.
Picking up asset. Asset has been delivered.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a pteranodon to the park.
Switching roads.
Asset transported. Heading right to the asset now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a pteranodon to the park.
Unable to get to the asset. Asset inaccessible.
has been completed.
Looking good. But if this place is gonna hit the jackpot, we'll need these animals to be visible to our guests. And we should make it clear that the park's under new management with some stylish scenery, too.
Oh, yeah. What's a sideshow without the show, after all?
All those old structures that were on the site when we got here don't exactly shout high-end establishment. Remember, you can demolish anything you don't like or dress it up with some lovely scenery items. Do a good job and I might hire you to revitalize my porch.
Our restroom is now open to use for whenever nature calls. Ladies and gentlemen, for your comfort, we've increased the hotel capacity of the park. Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new aviary viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our amazing avian reptiles.
If this site runs out of money, well, that would be a crisis in its own right. Use the arrival point to open the park. Then we can get back to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our... Attention.
Our client wants more species on site. This is a non-negotiable part of our contract, so do whatever needs to be done to make it happen. Lily, could you lend your guidance?
Oh, of course. Building a new aviary is step one, and it's crucial to get right. The proper environment will keep these animals happy enough to prevent an escape attempt. When the aviary is set up, then we can look into bringing more flying animals on site. The guests will love that, I'm sure.
report quickly.
Time for us to make use of that genome, don't you think? Go ahead, synthesize, incubate, release, profit. Oh, wait, did I say that last one out loud?
Commencing synthesis procedure. Synthesis procedure. Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new aviary viewing gallery.
The dinosaurs did not evolve for this world. Their struggles to adapt should be evidence of this. But you reject that fact, and you endanger human life in doing so. Dr. Malcolm was right. Nature must be allowed to take its course without human intervention. If that means a re-extinction of dinosaurs, so be it. We are extinction now, and this is our warning to you. End your work. Dissolve the dinosaur integration network, or this will no longer just be a warning.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
You know, I see where they're coming from. Nature should be revered, but the situation, I must say, has evolved since Mount Sibo's eruption on Isla Nublar. The dinosaurs aren't isolated on an island anymore. Our actions don't just affect prehistoric life, but human life also. But I suppose people will see what they want to see, and we can't stop them. Trust me, I've tried.
It's petty idealism being dressed up as a fact of nature. Our work is too important to allow this to slow us down.
Geez, your self-belief is admirable. You know, others have had that same confidence with, let's say, mixed results.
Let's keep doing what we're doing. It's not like they'll actually be able to stop us anyway, huh?
Mr. Finch, I was just talking to our client about their ambitions to expand the park. Do you have something you want to explain?
Okay, don't be mad, but I have a lot of friends / enemies / debt in Vegas, and I knew we'd need a crisis manager if we ever wanted to cut through the red tape and expand the site. And guess what? It worked, huh? Of course, Lily stormed off as soon as I told her, but she's dealt with jobs falling apart before. I said she was at Jurassic World, didn't I?
I am truly disappointed in you, Finch. But, I confess, the client will be happy. The red tape is down, but the land still needs to be paid for. We should generate enough funds to make this happen. The prospect of a breeding program helped secure this contract, and now it is time to deliver on that. Dr. Baldera, I assume your research applies to flying reptiles as well?
In science, we don't assume. We postulate, we hypothesize, we test.
Aren't those just very fancy words for guess?
Okay, so I've studied flying reptiles a little less. Not so big on heights, but the principles are very much the same. Our flyers will need nests if we're going to encourage their natural wild behaviors.
Task received. Confirming task. Adding to the list. Damage found, but I'm on it.
The site is getting more impressive by the day, but increasing diversity within our population would provide both scientific and entertainment value. That should be our next target.
I've been reaching out to potential clients and have now had all the responses I wanted. The news is, well, I think you'll be as pleased and pleasantly surprised as I am. But let's talk about this with a map in front of us.
East Asia. Vast, mysterious, and beautiful. And, of course, bed of so much discovery and history and progress. But, you know, it's a complex, chaotic world out there. And now, that global complexity, that intercontinental chaos, will have another fascinating variable to it. You. What could possibly go wrong?
Certainly nothing that we can't handle, I'm sure. But allow me to give a proper briefing on these incredible opportunities.
In Indonesia, there are rumors of disease in local dinosaur populations. We are tasked with developing a facility to monitor and handle any outbreaks. A conservation-minded client in China has asked for our help in creating a spacious sanctuary for prehistoric giants. And there is a theme park in Japan that has fallen to ruin. We will need to put it back in working order and make it the success it was always meant to be. All three of these sites are significant, both in the importance of the work and in their benefit to our global reputation. These clients expect a lot of us. We best not disappoint.
Sending the drone out.
Incubation complete. Prepare asset for release. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Tapajara to the park. Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new aviary viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our amazing avian reptiles.
Assigned.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
Thanks to the work of our park manager and Dr. Baldera, we have an excellent foundation to build from. Let's use that strong start to improve our reputation with the industry sectors. We can continue our work here in Hawaii when we hit our reputation target. And I insist that we hit that target.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Tapajara to the park. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Kayuajara to the park.
Sanctuary for Titans, huh? You know, prehistoric giants were the first dinosaurs that I ever laid eyes on. But if you're hearing any nostalgia in my voice, well, you'd be mistaken. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was, truly amazed. But I was also struck by how out of time they felt. So immense, so massive. They just didn't seem to fit our world. Well, that's now the very challenge that we all need to solve.
One of my favorite places in the world. You know we're close to the Shaximau Formation. The fossils found here have been staggering. Over 100 sauropods alone. Giants roam this land. Can you imagine it?
We don't have to. Need I remind you that we are here to create a permanent home for some of the largest animals to have ever lived? The client is expecting no less than well-cared-for dinosaurs and an effective breeding program. Our work here will be under the greatest scrutiny.
Wonderful. I mean, I've spent most of my professional life under scrutiny anyway. But I have every faith in your abilities, Dr. Baldera. Make some magic.
Female sauropods are on the way, but that alone won't make for a very successful breeding program. We need males, too.
Not a problem. We'll need genetic material in order to synthesize a male, so let's send out an expedition to gather it. While we wait, we can build a lovely enclosure for those soon-to-arrive sauropods.
Patrol. Ready for track.
Asset has been collected. Asset transported.
I believe we have everything we need to synthesize a male, so let's begin.
Those dinosaurs were sent to us courtesy of our very generous client, huh? They need to be treated right. So, needless to say, we better be synthesizing the most charming sauropod this place has ever seen.
Yes, well, I'm sure they'll all get along wonderfully. We should ensure that the males and females all end up in the same enclosure, though, and that they're nice and comfortable.
Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available personnel, please respond. Attention personnel. We have detected power outages across the site. Available personnel, please respond.
No problem.
Okay, excellent. Now all we need to do is let nature take its course, just like it would have done on this very spot in Cretaceous China. Not that it would have been called China then, but anyway.
Biosynthesis procedure complete. Incubation personnel, please stand by. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Corythosaurus to the park.
Receiving asset.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
Picking up asset. Asset transportation in progress. Transportation complete.
I've always found prehistoric giants to be most fascinating. And I'm far from the only one. A colleague in the pharmaceutical industry is rife with theories about how their physiology will change in years to come. Perhaps in ways that will benefit both us and the dinosaurs.
Don't understand. Some of the eggs are missing.
Smart money's on those Extinction Now people, right? Yeah, I really thought they were all talk and no dino egg steal. Juveniles are valuable, I guess.
If it was Extinction Now, I doubt they're thinking about money. They want to slow us down.
What? They weren't fossils that they took, they were eggs. Fertile eggs. They stole life, and they did that to slow us down? It doesn't make any sense to me. Well, they didn't take all the eggs. We should nurture what's left and make sure that the juvenile is comfortable and safe. We owe it that.
How much land can we dedicate to these giants? How much land will they need if you succeed in increasing their numbers?
Ladies and gentlemen, our restroom is now open to you for whenever nature calls.
I see the breeding program has already shown progress. Very good. But we need to do more. The client expects greater species diversity and more naturally bred dinosaurs. And that is what they will get. Make it so.
Nature really can't be rushed, but I guess the business world never got that memo. Well, I can advise on the breeding side of things, I guess. Using a little bit of animal husbandry and a dash of pheromones, don't ask me how I obtained them, we can encourage specific dinosaurs to breed with a higher chance of success. Worth a go, right?
Understood.
Confirming task.